It starts.
No, we're live.
We're live. All right. So what's up, Rocky? How you feeling?
Feeling great, feeling good.
Big win last weekend. How was that experience, man?
It was good. Happy for Jermaine. He worked hard, and I believe it showed that night.
Indeed. So for people who don't know you, tell us where you grew up, where you went to high school, how you got into boxing.
I got into boxing when I was 6 years old. I was born in GBV. Went to the boys club, got into it. Carlos made me box the person I got into it after. I ran out the ring acting crazy, talking about I'm not a boxer, I'm a street fighter. I was only 6 doing this. Carlos thought I was nuts. And then after we started training, and from there I loved it. I didn't actually like right before the fight was the most nervous wracking thing you could probably do in your life. So I call the dressing room one of the most religious places on earth because everybody's praying to their higher ups. So it was nerve wracking, but I love running out that ring with a trophy, especially in Coventry back in the days. So
Okay,
that's
okay.
how it continued for me.
So and you went to South.
Yes, the best high school, baby.
That's
South High.
right.
You were there with pretty much your whole boxing team.
Orlando Baxter, check out his movie.
The
The man.
with your whole boxing team though, pretty much, right? It's safe to say the whole Ionic Boys and Girls Club boxing team was at
Yeah,
South.
most of them went there. Yup. Some went to Doherty, but most of them went there. I lived at Hooper at the time, but I got special permission to go to South, and I'm glad I did because I loved it.
So it's funny because you see all the pictures. Carlos keeps the trophies. Everyone knows all the stories and stuff. For somebody that was such a good amateur and undefeated as a pro, why'd you stop?
I never really actually stopped. I just kept eating. No fight was coming up. I never left the gym, so I just kept eating and I blew up. But there was no one day that I said I'm done boxing. It never happened like that. I never even wanted to be a coach. I was just trying to help my partners, my teammates get better. And at 14, I used to do pads with them and work corners. I would
So
work
it's
corners, compete, and then go finish working corners.
that's crazy. So like what like you essentially you're undefeated as a pro, and you just never thought about like, damn, that one last, like, I can't end it like this.
I did years ago, but all the years I did sparring, I took a toll of my body. As you can see, I just had my two knees replaced, totally replaced. Feel good finally, pain free. But we'll see. I don't know. I got too many injuries.
How'd you get into the MMA world? Because I know you done some work with Gabriel Gonzaga. You done some work
Yeah.
with a few Matt Lee and all those guys. How'd you get into the MMA world?
Oh, years ago, I met Marcelo. He came through the boys club because someone brought his wallet. He lost his wallet and he had a taekwondo card in it. And at the time, oh Bill, I'm sorry, Bill Love came to the boys club asking Carlos help someone work his hands. He used to own the one of the owners of the Lucky Dog. And
Okay.
Bill Love came through and Carlos sent him to me because he knows I like watching MMA. My dad was a fan of the Gracies. Um, so he put me on to watch the Gracies when I was younger. And then I met Bill Love. Bill Love told me he did jujitsu, and I had seen a commercial in Auburn. They were doing it, but I didn't know where. I seen a commercial once. He told me that was them. And then I started showing him Bob working with his hands. And in return, he started showing me some jujitsu. And then it just took off from there. From there, I ended up meeting Matt Lee, um, Keith Raquel first, then Matt Lee, then Nuri, George Rivera, and it just spilled down. And
Word.
all them guys fought some real good tough fights. Even fought at the Playboy Mansion one time, which was all very fun. Yeah, but them
what
guys used to compete hard.
what is your so I mean shit, if you traveling with all these guys with Bobby, my dad, all these guys as an amateur, doing your own thing, traveling as a pro fighter, traveling as a pro coach, as an MMA coach. What are some of the most like fond memories? What are the like some of the top memories that you have that you can think of?
There's too many. There's way too many, because one person I've been on a lot of trips with Scully, and there's so many memories, You pick a trip, it's unbelievable, you know. The
It's funny
first
because
one I went was California with your dad, and that's when I made it to the finals that year. My first nationals for all 5 days, lost in the finals to David Jackson. He ended up going to Olympics. But that was a fun trip. I was real cocky, telling everybody I'm gonna win my first nationals, And I almost did. I won 4 out of the 5, but it was a hell of an experience.
all the hilarious stories that I heard growing up. Um, and it's pretty ironic that for somebody that Carlos had to yell at so many times, how as a grown man you guys end up working together in the gym.
We're all one big family. Boxing's so big but so small too in the world. And whenever you meet these, that's why I tell everybody go to the Hall of Fames when they have them gatherings. I go with Scully. He's invited me a few times, and just to hear the fighters talk, and even the guys that fought each other and had rivalries. It's personal when it's in there, but at the end of the day, they respect each other and one big family, and they
Aside
treat
from
you as you're one of them. What's that?
aside from Jermaine, who is off the top of your head one of the most skilled fighters you ever had the privilege of training?
I mean, I had a lot. Freddie Sanchez was real skilled. Edwin Rodriguez, obviously, he won. He was a 4-time national finalist. Was ranked number one at the same time in 2 weight classes. 2-time national champion. So he was another one. Then you had a bunch of guys that helped win the New Englands too, coming up. So Hightower, he won the New Englands a few times now. He's a pro with the help of Nate Torres, 6-0. Um, then we got somebody I want to say hi. What's going on?
Oh shit.
Oh man.
What's going
Oh man,
on?
this is like the first interview since he's been back.
Yeah, I'm not staying for the interview though. Let's get straight up.
What's good, brother? What's good? Congrats again, bro.
He said thanks. All right, I'll see
Um,
you.
obviously Andre, right? You gotta throw Andre in that
Andre
mix.
Nevsky, yeah, the Russian. He's a beast. I still talk to him.
Oh, you do? How's he doing?
Yeah. I talked to him. Jermaine met him. They talked a few times. Before this crazy war, Jermaine was thinking of going over there.
Oh
He
shit.
still looks the same. He plays
Still
in
in
some
shape.
basketball league that they don't dribble, they tackle each other. It's a little crazy, bro.
So he
But he's
retired.
doing good. I talk to him all the time.
Has he fought since he went back?
No. Once he went back, he was only like 27, but to them, that was too old.
Which is ironic because these guys come out of the Olympics old as shit.
Yeah. But remember, he started late.
Yeah, wasn't he when he got sent back? He was like at least like 7-0 though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
7-0,
We got
seven knockouts, something like that.
6 knockouts.
Six
One went to
knockouts.
decision. Yeah.
So and then you got to
And
you
he
ever
was
go to
undefeated in MMA also.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't
Then,
know
but he
that
loved
part.
boxing. Costa Zoo was his favorite.
And then you got to work with Enrique as well, right?
Yeah, as an amateur. Then when he turned pro, I was too busy with Edwin. So Sean and Flacco was his mentor. Sean was training him.
Word. So it's safe to say you've been around and brought up
Yeah,
some of
when he
the
won the gloves, I worked his
best.
corner.
what transitioned you? What helped transition you? What helped you be like, you know what? I'm actually really good at this. Like, what clicked?
It
What
never
what
really
was it that
happened
made
like that.
you like? There had to have been a moment where you were like, you know what? I might have actually found my niche.
No, Bill. No, like it never it there was never a daily that happened. I was just trying to help everybody, you know. And slowly I became a coach. But it started off like I was in the nationals. I was already fooling around with it at the boys when I was 12 or 13. But when I went to the JO nationals, um, the dudes from New York, they were my roommates, and they were doing pads with each other. And their coach, Gloria Peak, who's also a USA coach, she was like, "Yeah, you guys, that's how you guys all get better." So when I came back, I really started like doing it, helping everybody with mitts and helping Carlos, and then in return to help my time, and then I just continued with it.
My
So I never
dad's
left the gym. I just
my
stopped
dad said
working out.
he really picked up on the transition where like he knew that you had it in you to be a trainer was you guys' trip to Roy Jones Jr. in Florida, that like you just picked his brain, his dad, I think it was his dad's brain the whole time.
No, I went on a trip with Scully. I never went with your dad on that trip.
Okay.
Scully brought your dad before that. I
Okay.
went on a trip on my own. No, he just
So
he
it must
broke
have just
some
been
stuff
when you
down
came
to me.
back from that you were picking
He broke
Roy
some
or his
stuff to
dad's
me,
brain.
and maybe I'll understand it a little more, open my mind up more. But I was already training guys before that. Because the
Yeah.
first kid I helped out, I was still boxing, and it was Javi. Javi changed it to a shot, but he changed the religion. But he won. He was the first one to win the nationals. He won the silver gloves, and he he actually fought about 7 times, 5 to win the nationals, and then to defend our gym at night. They had some fights in the room, and he was there representing. Scully used to call him Midnight Man. Javi Colon. He ended up fighting 2 more times that night, and there's pictures of it.
That's hilarious. So
So the
what
Nationals was pretty wild back in the days.
yeah, nah, amateurs were nuts. You guys were like 14 fighting grown ass men and shit.
I can't hear you.
I said amateurs back in the days was nuts. You guys were like 14 fighting grown ass men.
We definitely did. Something happened with your volume.
Did it? Let me see. You can hear me better?
Real low.
Yeah, I do. I'm good on my end.
It might be your phone, Rock.
No, everything's up.
It might be old age, Rocky. We're talking about '96. I walk into South High, and I think, did you fight at the DCU? Were you on that card?
What's that?
Did you fight at the DCU Center back in the day? I think it was '96 that I first got to South when you were there.
No, I
What year
did
did
an
you?
exhibition during the Olympic trials in '92,
I remember
but that's the only time.
it was crazy. I remember Rocky Gonzalez. And y'all scared of these people? You think they're like monsters, like bad? Not that you're not a bad dude, but we're like nicest dude you ever gonna meet. Like, hey, what's up, man? Oh, never been nothing but nice, respectful. They can't picture him in the ring. I wish we had. We got to get some of that footage, man. Got to get
There's
some
a
of that
fight on
footage.
YouTube when I won the Golden Gloves.
We go. I got to
I
check
was
this
a
out
buck
because
25.
Yo, you know what's
wow.
crazy? So I obviously grew up with Rocky as like an uncle. Like he's knew my dad since my dad was I don't even know how old. And I always like remember
I
Rocky's
could barely
mitts.
hear you guys.
Let me see. Me. I'm
Yeah,
muted. Can you hear me, Mike?
I can hear you. Yeah.
I don't know, Rocky. Your phone's acting up, bro.
Sarah Gonzalez in the comments says she can hear us.
So what I was saying was, yeah, I grew up with Rocky as an uncle. So like my whole life, at least for me growing up, I'm used to seeing Rocky. I'm used to seeing Rocky big. And I remember when I started boxing, Carlos keeps all the memorabilia, and I saw a picture, and it was Rocky's face, but the kid was like this, like this. I'm like, yo, who is that? Carlos like,
Yep.
that's Rocky before he got locked in the fridge. I didn't even know you used to
I
fight
could
that
barely
like
hear.
that.
I don't know what's going on.
Hold on, you want to try to refresh this mic so you can hear us?
Everything looks good on my end. Everything, all the volumes are up.
I didn't change nothing on this.
Try to should he try to like log out and then log back in? We'll stay on.
You want me to?
Yeah, try to X out of it and then
All right.
log back on.
Yeah, I think it's his phone because they're saying in the comments that they can hear us.
Yeah, I mean, I figured because his phone when he was talking, there was times where his phone went like kind of quiet.
Yeah. He's in an undisclosed location. Dude, his poster was phenomenal to put together. I was like pulling those pictures of him with Tyson, him with Roy Jones, him with like your dad, Kyle. It was just like, what? All right. So
It's been around the world.
I can hear you now.
Literally.
Clearly.
you can hear us?
Yes, now, yup.
All
He's
right.
back.
So what I was saying was that I had grown up with you as basically like an uncle. You and my dad have been close since my dad was probably like 15 years old, and I always remember seeing you big. And I remember when I was at the gym at the Boys and Girls Club, and I seen a picture. It was your face, but the guy on the picture was like this big. And I asked Carlos who it was, and he said that was Rocky before he got locked in the fridge. So I had no idea. I want to say I had no idea till I was like between like 13 and 14 years old that Rocky was actually small at one point.
What was your highest weight, Rocky?
338,
And how tall are you?
5'6". And when I won the Golden Gloves, I was 5'6", 125.
Do you remember what year it was when you started training my dad at Matt Lee's?
No, I don't remember.
I was probably like 15 years old because it was like when I really was like taking amateur boxing serious, and I wanted to spar with Rocky so bad, and my dad kept telling me like, you better chill out, like he's like, listen, do not underestimate what he looks like. Rocky was still big at the time. Man, I went in there. The only thing I could hit was the stomach, man. This dude's head couldn't touch the head, and he hit me probably with a triple hook. Bop, bop, bop. Quick as shit. Hands quick as shit. I was like, yo, this dude, like, I couldn't get inside on him. There was nothing I could do with him. He was just toying with me. I get out the ring, my dad's like, told you. What is your most memorable fight to date?
My personal fight or
Your personal fight.
Maybe the year I came back and I won the JOs in Lake Placid. Because the first year I went, I got wiped out. But that was the first time I dropped 30 pounds from 7th to 8th grade that summer. And then I ended up going to the national finals, PALs. Then I went back and I got my revenge in New York. So I think I was happy.
Oh, you ended up fighting the same kid?
No, but just still beating New York was fun enough. I beat Jersey and then New York.
Fire. Fire, that's fire. Who any like notable names that you've been able to share the ring with? Because I know in
The
the
hardest I've
amateurs, you
been
guys
hit.
all fight each other.
The hardest I've been hit, Augie Sanchez. That dude could punch. I also fought Daniel Santos, you know.
Oh, you fought Daniel Santos. I never knew that.
Yeah, in Puerto Rico.
Damn, how either he was mad small or you were fighting at a bigger weight class by
No,
then.
147.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
That's crazy. You know, I found out too after he fought my dad, he's the only Puerto Rican fighter ever to get a medal in the Olympics. He got a bronze.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. And if you think about all the phenomenal Puerto Rican world champions, Cotto, Trinidad, Camacho, all those guys, and he's the only one to get a bronze.
Yeah.
That's
They
crazy.
like the pros out there.
They start him early.
Yeah, they like turning pro.
They start him early. What was your favorite Carlos memory?
My favorite Carlos, what?
Your favorite Carlos memory. Everyone knows Carlos. So
When he told me to street fight this kid in New York, I'm like, street fight? What the hell did we train for boxing for? That was the first year.
he told you to take it to the streets of the ring.
What happened was I was like 119 little meatball, and they go to draws, and I see another kid that kind of looked like me, so I thought there was only two in the weight class. So they were like, they didn't call us up. They just kept us down. We were fighting the finals.
Yeah.
So Carlos kept telling me, Rocky, you know you're fighting. I'm like, yeah, no problem. The next day in the finals, we get in the ring. I see this kid. He's a lot taller and slim. I'm like, Carlos, we're in the wrong ring. Carlos is like, no, we're not. I'm like, no, I'm fighting that big kid that's like me. He goes, no, that's who you're fighting. I'm like, oh shit, you know. I already didn't think it was gonna go right. First round, kid beat the crap out of me. Gave me like two standing 8 counts. I almost fell through the ring. The judge was like, I got him. I think I swore at the judge. And then I come back to the corner, and Kyle's like, sit down, relax, breathe. I go, breathe. I didn't even freaking throw a punch. What the heck you want me to breathe for? So then he was like, he was like, listen, you're not gonna win, but I want you to fight like a man. I'm like, what do you mean? He was like, I want you to street fight. I'm like, street fight him? What the hell we training boxing for? To come in street fight? He's like, try anything, overhand right, anything. And I remember I come out, the bell rang. I came flying with an overhand right, and he hit me with like a 4-piece before I could get my arm over. And that was it. Ref stopped it. I knew it was being recorded, so I acted like I didn't want to get stopped. You know, I'm yelling at the ref. When I got to the restroom, I made sure pulled the ref aside and apologized to him. So it
That's
was
hilarious. What tell us about that the I remember vaguely.
Hold on, you know what it is? When I get a call, it don't come back. Hold on, I'm gonna come back.
Oh, that's what it was. Every time he gets a call, he loses the volume. That happened to me too.
That's crazy.
We good?
Yeah, we good.
All good.
Every time I get a phone call, bro.
Yeah, same happens to me too. But I was gonna say, tell us about that story about I think you had drew a bye at a tournament and you started eating. And I think my dad and Bobby had something to do with you not getting that bye.
Oh, that's when I was gonna fight Julio Costa. And Carlos already had called for a bye because he was out of town. I think he was with Corky in the USA's in Lake Placid. And so I weighed in, made weight, went up, bought a cheeseburger, had a Snickers bar, and I'm eating. And then Cisco, who used to also help me out as a trainer out of Hartford in Springfield, he whistled me, Rocky. And right when he did that, I already knew because he had a grin. I started getting butterflies. I'm like, what? He was like, it's on today. I'm like, no, it's not. Carl's already said I'm getting a bye. He called him. He's like, nope. Go check with your boys, Bobby and Jose. They went down there and they said, you don't want the bye. You want to fight today. I immediately dropped the hamburger and the Snickers bar, and it was fight mode. I was pissed, but I ended up winning.
That's hilarious.
And Julio was a lot older than me at the time. I was just turning 16.
When
Well, I was 16.
when you started working out and training with these guys, what did you find yourself like falling in love with boxing in a different kind of way? You know, it's like one thing to love fighting and love being a boxer. Did you start loving boxing differently when you started having all these guys you were working with and training with?
I mean, the fighting part, I used to spar all the time. I never stopped sparring, boxing, or even when I started learning some MMA and Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, I would always spar. So I I never missed because I was always doing it. I just didn't never had nothing set up, so I wasn't disciplined in the diet part. I ate every day like I just made weight and kept blowing up. So that was
What
just it,
what's the
But I
official
never left
pro
the
record?
gym.
Like 2-0, 3-0?
2-0, baby.
2-0. Look at that. My man gets to retire like
That's it.
Floyd.
Undefeated?
Uh,
I love it.
undefeated.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
When you
I
started
fought my first pro fight at the Sturbridge Host Hotel and the second one on the Palladium,
oh, that's fire.
which was
That's
a fun
fire.
night.
You know, I've been craving and thinking about doing an old school show at the like. I'm trying to like. I need you, Fitzy, Bobby. I need all the old school Worcester guys
Yes.
back in the ring that night. Rashad, like, y'all gotta dust the gears off. I want to do
Let's
like
I'm
go.
all set.
I want to do a welcome back to the pro reunion. You know,
Legends tour.
that might be
I'm
the best
good.
show we could do. What when you started working with Jermaine, obviously, you know, the kid's super talented. We all know he's super talented. When for you did it click like, all right, this kid's got it. This kid's got that it factor.
um, I treat them all the same at the boys' club. We all do. The better
Yeah.
you get, probably the worse I treat you. Everyone knows that.
Oh yeah.
So, I just push you. I push them because that's what I do. Once they win one thing, I feel like they could do it again. So, he stood out. They all the ones that keep going further, they don't get no special attention. They earn it.
Yeah.
And
No, I
when you
know it's
see them
not
working
special
hard, you
attention,
just
but
you
there
give them
comes a
more
point in
attention when
time.
they work hard.
There comes a
What's that?
point. I was saying I know there's no special attention involved because I mean I trained with you, so I know how it is. You'll do pads with us at the same time. You'll have us all shuffling in the ring at the same time. You'll fucking make us do an extra round even though when we don't want to. Uh, but was there a certain moment where you were like, oh nah, like this kid, he's going. This is the one. He's going. He's going places.
Um, like I said, they all they all work hard together, and it didn't happen that way. When it just I helped him make his decisions, and I want to make sure he's right. So when he decided to turn pro, we made that decision, and I had a couple people. Obviously, I always use dad. I even sent. I use Alex Caraballo as a big shout out to him in Caguas, Puerto Rico. Because I sent them. They fought out there from in the amateurs. Him and Irvin, and then Freddie went out there too, and he liked them all. And he had connections too. But shout out to our promoter, CES, Jimmy Birchfield. He gave us the best offer, and he's been there and he's been a man of his word ever since. And he's taking care of that part. So I was just there helping Jermaine as much as we could in my experience of what I learned. And he kept me with him. So here we are.
I gotta say, that was the first workout that I ever went to was Jermaine's. Not this last fight, the previous fight. Rocky, you gotta be. I feel like you gotta be just as on point as these dudes. The way you're doing the mitts with these guys. You too, AJ. With You still got it, man. Basically, you
Been
got to come out
together
of
for so
retirement.
long.
Like it is.
When
It
you're
looks
with,
like you don't even look. Like you're not even looking at what you're doing. It's natural. It's crazy. It was like the instincts are there, bro. He's
Oh,
out on that note. He's like,
I think he'll log back in.
but even you too, AJ. Like
Yeah.
that video you sent of you training with Jawad and everything. Like
Oh yeah.
to be that on point. I mean, your instincts are still there. Everything is.
Oh yeah, no,
well,
the instincts definitely don't go away. They stay there, and like I tell people all the time too, like especially with Rocky, like my dad is a workhorse. So like my dad always had me like super like conditioning. But the most smart and skilled I ever felt in the ring was when I was training with Rocky. I was learning things that I didn't learn with my dad. You know, my dad is like a repetitive, like he's textbook, you know, and we're gonna throw a bunch of combinations and we're gonna not stop throwing. But in terms of like how Rocky, yeah, he's on point too. He's in shape too. Like the way he does pads, it's all fast paced. Like boom, 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 boom,
Yeah,
and
no
you're
joke.
shoulder rolling, you're slipping.
Now,
I'm surprised.
as
on
far as with our guys, what's
Go
that?
ahead, Rock. I said, go ahead.
Oh, no. Once you've been together for so long with your fighters, the chemistry's there. You know, sometimes they know exactly what I'm thinking. I don't even gotta say nothing. You know, just by the way I'm looking at them, or we look at each other, and it works both ways. You know, they're on point. And you know, there's a lot of things we drilled throughout the years, and I've been blessed to get a lot of help from so many coaches. You know, I can't even start naming them. There's so many talk to all the time. You know, and even old school coaches hit me up. You know, I'm on the phone with Muhammad Brooks all week. You know, Hector Bermudez, he helped me out throughout Jermaine's career with sparring all the time, and technique. Alex, I mean, there's so many guys. Alex Rivera too helped me out with sparring. Um, there's so many guys that give me feedback all the time, and
now
I'm blessed to have so many good coaches, friends.
your opinion. It's been talked about when we had Jermaine on. Like the comparison's been made. Um, comparison to Jermaine Ortiz in prime time Jose Rivera. Do you see similarities? What's your outlook on that?
Well, Jose always been part of Team Ortiz. You know, he's been with us. You know, helping me from day one.
And as
So
fighters, do you
that
see similarities
He's
in their
saying as
training?
fighters, like, do you see
as
similarities in?
fighters, two different fighters, you know, and then and we evolve as we go because I've learned more stuff since when I helped Jose out, you know, and I just transitioned into the guys and so but Jose could box too. He could box and he was a puncher, boxer puncher. So a lot of similar things we kind of work on. Just Jermaine does it a little different, but same basics.
Same fundamental.
I think for me, one of the big things I picked up
I'll
with
see you, all right?
Rocky is
Definitely.
he knows A style, he knows B style. Rocky also he doesn't allow you to be one dimensional because the moment a fighter figures out your particular weakness, for example, everyone now knows Deontay Wilder can't fight going backwards. So what guys are gonna start doing is they're gonna try to bully him and push him and get him and try to be the aggressor to get him to go backwards. You know, Rocky got you fighting forward, backwards, A style, B style, angles. He's never gonna let you, you know, get complacent. He's never gonna let you be a one-dimensional fighter. So I think that's part of what makes him such a huge success as a trainer. Because you know, look at Hightower. Hightower does not move like a fucking cruiserweight.
He's gonna hurt somebody
Dude,
soon.
that
Like
dude does not move like a cruiserweight. That hand speed, the foot speed, the angles, like the way he moves like a light heavyweight, super middleweight.
He's another real hard worker. I don't got to worry about him not working out. He puts in his work and his time. Always in condition, always ready to go, and that's why he's doing good and he's successful.
I'll tell you too, there ain't a bad word out there about that kid, man. Like I know a couple of his teachers in Doherty from way back. I know like, his
And
character.
he's
He's
working
gonna.
on himself.
I can't wait to. Yeah, I know. Colonels, baby. That's what it's all
Who
about.
Best school.
who's the who's the so I usually ask the fighters, I like call it messy midway. If there's one guy at a local level and there's one guy at maybe a national level that you kind of would like to see one of your guys fight, who would that be?
As far as what?
So I
Jermaine
usually,
or
yeah,
Hightower?
or either one of them. So like I'll ask, for example, I'll ask Hightower. I'll ask him it's a two-part question. The first is, who at a local level would you like to fight that you feel would help elevate your career, or
I think in the pros, I don't like fighting no one local level because we're all trying to eat here, and we might need each other for sparring. If we win a world title, then I wouldn't mind sharing it with a local. So give him a chance to win it. If it was up to me for politics, I'll go back and give all our sparring partners a freaking shot. That way we could keep it in house. We could all keep eating. But starting up like that, I know the local promoters love that, but at the end of the day, it's hurting their careers. If they're making
yeah,
huge money now with YouTube, you can hype it up or pay-per-view, internet, then so be it. But at the end of the day, there's so much other guys you could fight that you don't have to be hurting each other locally.
yeah.
You know,
So who would you say at a national level then that you were like, you know what, I would like this fight for my guy because this is will take us where we want.
for High Tower, we're still building. For Jermaine, we're there. Any of them now, because our condition is going to help us, and Jermaine gets stronger as the fight goes. So
What do you
Really
Jermaine
think?
is
good,
always
man.
top.
What do you think about Deontay Wilder's little brother for Hightower?
I'm not sure. Didn't that dude just get knocked out again?
Yeah, he did, but he still has the name as Deontay Wilder's little brother.
Not Deontay Wilder.
Hashtag.
Hey, he's not Deontay, but it's the fact that I beat a Wilder.
Bring it. Obviously, bring it.
What
Set it up.
what outside from our Worcester guys in our stable, what what are some, let the public know of some other eyes that we should be keeping our eyes on in terms of up and coming fighters?
There's so many. You got McQuan up in Connecticut. He helped us with our sparring. All the time. Mozzie out of New York. They played him with a draw on the undercard of Jermaine's fight Saturday night. Swing bout. He should have won that. Um, there's just so many up and coming. You got Hightower. He's up and coming. You got Boo Boo, who's world champion. You got our Tank Hogan. He just signed with CES.
Oh yeah, Tank.
Rank the tank, baby.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I
wait,
went and saw him
Tank's
train,
not. I'm
man,
like,
too.
Tank's not up and coming, but he was talking about Hogan.
I thought so,
Yeah.
too. Damn, Frank Hogan gets the.
Speaking of Tank, who you got this weekend?
Who, me?
Yeah,
Tank.
by what?
Late stoppage.
Late stoppage?
Yeah.
You think he's just gonna put it on him?
Yeah, I think it goes past the fifth. Tank's gonna stop.
So you think maybe what, sixth or seventh he'll stop him?
Yeah, he might get up there. We'll see.
So you don't think Rolly has a shot to land nothing big on Tank?
Nah.
So what? I mean, the kid's like 14, 15-0, whatever. Like, why do this to this kid so early in his career? Because it's like nothing good could come from like Tank could really ruin this kid's career.
They want to do. He's making money with it.
Get it, but I mean, shit, he might never be the same after this.
Might or might not.
He might end up being like Vargas after Trinidad got to him.
Vargas my boy though.
Hey, it happened though. I mean, and you can't knock it though. I mean, he went through after Trinidad. He ended up fighting De La Hoya. He ended up fighting Mosley. Like there was just no tune-ups for him. He just went from
he's real like that.
Hall of Famer to Hall of Famer.
Yeah, that's how he did it.
All right.
So I gotta ask you too. Hold up. One, we got on the poster that I made today. Obviously, we know how you saw it. You were with Tyson and Roy Jones, but I didn't know that you hung out with Tito. I saw that picture. I was like, that's
was another
badass.
guy. It was at the Hall of Fame. Scully invited me because Scully got a nice award for helping raise money for all the fighters that in need, like Prickly Colon, Benavidez, and even Roy Jones. When he got his award, all he was doing was talking about Scully, which was nice. And Tito got inducted too this past year, so we're all there. The New Jersey Atlantic City Hall of Fame is just great. Shout out to Ray Mercer too. We hung out all the time. That's my boy. But had a great time. Great fighters. Roy Jones was there. Vinny. We took pictures together. But yeah, Trinidad was humble. We spoke, took pictures. His mom was there. No, she's a sweetheart, and all his daughters.
Trinidad is the most like normal person for for such a celebrity, for such a high like he's like the heart of that island over there. And like I mean my family have been around him a few times in Puerto Rico, a bunch of times actually. He came down to Southbridge a couple years ago for the Puerto Rican festival, like, and he just like walked the streets with the people, like holding the flags. Like he embraces just people. It's so crazy how like loving he is.
That's cool as hell, man. That's cool as hell.
No, he's a loving person. Rocky, before we go, do you want anyone you want to shout out? Anyone you want to give love to?
Shout out to my cousin's restaurant in Worcester. Shout out to the Mass Pirates. Shout out to our promoter, CES, Jimmy Birchfield, and shout out to all the coaches out there doing their thing.
But what is the name of the restaurant? Your cousin's restaurant?
Nuestra. Yeah. Check it out.
55 Pearl Street. Literally like right there, like on like
Can't get right. And a huge shout out to South High, baby.
That's what it's all about. It's
That's
Pearl
it.
time, baby.
Orlando
Pearl
Baxter.
time. Dude, that was amazing. That special he just did. Watching that was like, I've been trying to get him on the pod for a while now. He's busy. I
gotta watch that film he did. I didn't catch that.
The one at South Iowa was unbelievable, bro. Like going there, he nailed it. I told him, I was like, bro, that's like Chappelle genius. You put that. I don't even know how you put that into words. But going there, like every word he describes is accurate. He was phenomenal. But have you been up to the school yet? The new school?
No, I haven't been there.
Rocky, you got to check it out. But before you go, you have to tell yourself, I'm not going to get angry that these kids have this and we didn't. They have. Right now. They have a more capable vocational school than Vogue. That's how badass. They got whole new. The football field is a stadium in front of the school, and they're not playing at Foley anymore. They got their own school, own stands. They might, who knows if they take the games on, but they got
well deserved.
Oh, after all the years of pain we suffered, we deserve that. That's what I keep telling them. Like, we owe that, man.
Mike's been wanting Carlos to get on, and I'm like, man, that's gonna be like borderline impossible. This dude don't know how to work anything like this.
Well, if
We're gonna have to
Rocky
find
can
a
do
way.
it,
We're gonna have to find a day for Carlos to like be with one of us to be able to get on here.
Yeah, definitely.
Because he won't be able to figure it out by himself.
look, hopefully, if things go right, we can have a studio. We can just have you guys in, and that's coming soon.
There you
That's
go.
coming soon. But
All right, have a good night, fellas.
All
Thanks for
right.
coming on, Rock.
Shout
you
out to
again.
everybody watching. Take care.
Rocky, thank you, my man. And when we have Scully on, come on back with us, my man. I'm gonna talk to
Definitely.
you soon.
All right, brother. Take
We'll
care.
talk to you guys.
Later.